Thank you for joining our SalesNet webinar training session today on dashboards. We're going to cover the basics of dashboard creation. We'll show you some of the concepts in a prepared slide deck and also log into a SalesNet account and exercise those features and functions there. First of all, let's go over our different types of dashboards in SalesNet. We have a chart dashboard, which is made up of graphical elements. In this sample, you can see that this chart dashboard has 4 different elements on it, and each one of those elements can be clicked to get a drill down report. You can click on any piece of a bar chart or an axis point to get the related drill down report of data that supports that graphic. Next, we have listing dashboards. These are lists of data. You can see that this listing dashboard page is made up of 5 different elements. Okay. Similar to a chart dashboard, each element in a listing dashboard gives you access to the detailed data. So I can click on any record in my list and I can get the detail record presented to me immediately. Now we can use our chart dashboards for all analytical purposes. You can imagine pipeline, funnel, lead source analysis, those types of analytics, any KPIs that you might have that you want to reflect based on your custom data. Our listing dashboards are often used to create quick access landing pages. I want to have access to all the records that I recently edited or touched. I want my top opportunities or my top accounts by revenue, that type of quick access page. Next, let's go over dashboard navigation. You'll see a dashboard tab all the way to the left here. Whenever you want to get back to your dashboard page, no matter where you're at in SalesNet, you simply click on the dashboard tab and you'll be presented with the last dashboard that you recently viewed. If you want to change between dashboards, you have a drop down on the left hand side of the page that allows you to go between your different chart and or listing dashboard pages that are available to you. And then finally here we have some icons that are used for creating or managing your dashboards. Okay, the first icon on the left is the Add Element icon. This allows you to put a new element onto your dashboard page. We have the Add icon, and this means I want to add an entirely new dashboard page. So I'm going to start something from scratch. Delete Dashboard. This will completely remove the dashboard from your account. And then we have a Customized Dashboard. You would use this to rename the dashboard or to reorganize the elements, maybe resize them or move them around the page. Okay. So now let's go over a few drill down capabilities, some detail there, and then we'll log into SalesNet and take a look at it in the system. Okay, so we've already pointed out that you can drill into any chart. And this is a sample of the drill down report that you would receive when you click on a portion of a graphic. In this drill down report, you have options to export this to CSV, to Excel, or even print it. And then you're also just one click away from the detail record at this point. So first of all, I get a list of all the records that make up a portion of my chart. And then I can click on any one of these links to then go look at the detail of that record. Next, you'll see you have some links underneath the chart. And so the refresh link is used to pull up-to-date data at any point. You have a timestamp that tells you when the last refresh was made, and you can click the refresh link at any time to get a new fresh pull. Now the dashboards will automatically refresh for you on a schedule, but if there's something that you immediately want to see, that's what you would use, is the refresh link. We have an edit link, so this would allow you to edit the title of just this chart, or maybe choose a different type of chart output a horizontal versus vertical bar, for example, or change the nature of the filtering or the data that's coming back into the chart. And then we have an all link. So this is the link you would use to pull back a drill down report of all the data that's represented in that chart. All right, and now this next slide focuses just on the detail link just beneath the chart. Okay, this gives us a much very different drill down of the data. It's presented to us in a tabular format, so you'll see your rows and columns are listed accordingly, and the aggregate of your data is listed here in the cells. I can click through on any of these cell links to get to a drill down report, and I can also take this entire display, graphic and data, and export it to Excel. So this is very handy if you need to present information outside of SalesNet. You get a nice graphical representation as well as the data that's behind it. So let's go into SalesNet now, and let's just review what we just looked at in the slide deck. So you'll see my dashboard tab is all the way to the left. I have the ability to change between my different dashboard pages. So I'm currently on a chart page, and I'm going to pick a list page, and you get an additional indicator here. There's an L prepended to the listing page and a C on the opportunity page for chart. I can click on any piece of the graphic here, and I get my drill down report, and I'm again one click away from the detail record itself. And I can go to CSV, Excel, or to my printer from this drill down. And then we have my management icons here, and as I mouse over them, you'll see little tooltips reminding you what they stand for. Okay, let's go back to the deck, and let's talk about or get ready to build a dashboard. First, we want to show you the different types of elements that you have available to you. Everything from stacked or unstacked bar graphs to funnels and area graphs. You have some spline and line. So however it is you want to reflect your information here. And again, any and all types of these charts can be clicked on to drill into the detailed information behind it. Our listing elements have two options. We can display top records, which means we're going to sort our information by value or alphabetically or by date, and you get to pick which fields and how they're sorted in this scenario. Then we have recent lists, and this is any information that you recently touched. So the last 30 accounts that I touched, or the last 10 reports that I ran. Okay, so again, these elements are used to build kind of those quick access landing pages. All right, so now we're going to walk through the steps to create a chart dashboard. Okay, very simple. We first click on our Add Dashboard icon, and we're immediately presented with a pop-up to name our dashboard page, and we choose what type of dashboard we're building, a chart or a list. And you'll notice we do have a third option so that you can copy from an existing dashboard. So if you have something that you want to use as a starting point and just modify it from there, then you have that option available as well. In our first walkthrough, we're going to build a chart dashboard, and as soon as we save that, the chart page or the chart dashboard page is displayed back to us. We're notified that there's no elements there, and we're ready to add our first element. Okay, so we simply click on that first icon, and then we get to pick which chart element we want to put on the page. And so we have to decide what kind of element we're building. Is it going to be based on leads or opportunities? Is it going to be a contact or account element? And then we also want to consider maybe starting from scratch, which is our custom built-in element. Okay. Pre-built elements are a nice starting point because there's data already pre-configured for that element. So fields have already been chosen, filtering has already been applied, and you have a nice starting point. the custom built element is from scratch. So you kind of get that blank slate and then you pick everything. But let's start with a pre-built element, and when we do that, we choose our element that we're going to start with, we click next, and then we're immediately presented with the properties of that element. So the naming, what type of chart it is, which fields we want to see, how is it filtered. Okay, so we can just save and accept that setting, or we can edit it at that time. All right, so let's run through those quick steps for adding that dashboard. Okay, I'm going to go back into SalesNet, and I'm just going to click my Add Dashboard icon. I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to choose that I want to start with a blank chart dashboard. Click Save. I'm immediately presented with that dashboard with my message, and so I'm ready to add my first element. Now I can pick from the different types of elements that are already pre-configured for me. They're grouped by lead, account, contact, opportunity. We have some step-based elements and then some appointment task elements. Okay, as I click on these, you'll see that I'm given the example of what my chart might look like. Or I can go and pick one of the custom from scratch pages. Okay, we're going to start with the pre-built element so that you can see how easy it is to get some information back to this dashboard page that you can then use or modify. I click Next. I'm presented with the properties of this element. Okay, and so again, I can change the name at this point or any of the filtering and selection here. But I'm just going to click Done and refresh, and that will put the element on my page and give me an immediate refresh. So you can see now I have opportunities that have been organized by their lead source for me, and then it's broken out by their outcome. So things that are still open where there's no outcome, or things that have already been lost and won. So I can click on, let's say, the Acme Trade Show axis here, and I can get a drill down, and you'll see my drill down is first grouped by the lead source, and then it's subgrouped by won, lost, and no outcome. Okay, it matches my breakout here on my stacked bar. Again, I can output this if I want to, or I can go straight into the detail record. Okay, first dashboard created and first element in place. So let's go back to our slide deck and let's talk about lists. So it follows the exact same workflow to begin with. We click the Add Dashboard icon, we name our dashboard, and we're going to click List Dashboard instead of Chart this time. And again, we're presented with a message saying your list dashboard is ready, but there are no elements there. Okay, so as soon as I click on the Add Element, now I'm presented with my choices for listing elements. Okay, and I can pick between top elements, that's going to give me the sorting options, my most recently accessed, or I have some activity-based elements for appointments and tasks. Okay, and these next two images just show you for a recent element, a listing element, I can name it, specify how many records I want to see, and I also get a little filtering choice here. Is it a list of things that I own, or is it a list that someone else owns? So you might build some lists based on your team members, let's say. And then our top X dashboards here, they will give us the ability to pick columns. So which 4 columns do I want to see and which one do I want to sort by? I can also specify the number of records I would like to see. And then again, I have some filtering choices. So the things that I own, records owned by another team or another user, I can specify that here. Okay, so let's do the same thing in SalesNet. let's go and add our listing dashboard. So I'm going to click the Add Dashboard icon. All right, I'm going to click Blank Listing Dashboard. It's ready to go. I can add my first element. And let's pick something like Recent Reports. Okay, so I click Next, and now I can rename this. I can specify the number of records. It defaults to 10, but maybe I want to see the top 15 or of recent. And I'm going to look at anything that I've recently touched in the report area. I click Save, and now I have my reports listed here. Okay, we very quickly made it through adding 2 dashboards. We are now on to dashboard administration. So we're not going to cover all of the administration tasks here, but I do want to point them out to you. Dashboard administration is a privilege inside the system. So if you've been designated as a dashboard administrator, you would have access to the dashboard menu towards the bottom of the setup area. And then here are all your different options. I can copy dashboards to other users. I can access other users' dashboards. This is very handy if you need to help manage those dashboards. And then I can also specify the fields that I get back inside of my drill down reports. Okay, but the dashboard administration topic is covered in full inside of our administrator training. Okay, so that completes our presentation on dashboard creation. If you have any questions regarding this webinar, additional training, any kind of configuration needs, you can send an email to webinar@salesnet.com, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.